Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for March 12th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair moved lower but did pull back and close higher prior to the end of the session. We are expecting this pair to move as high as 99.34 and potentially as low as 94.67. Look for some resistance around 98.31 and look for support around 97.00 in this particular pair. Now, let's switch over to the Euro-USD pair. This particular pair moved higher as well and closed higher. We are expecting this pair to move as high as 130.77 and potentially as low as 126.07. Look for some resistance around 129.50 and look for support around 128.63 in this particular pair. Now, this pair is moving sideways. The bias is sideways currently. Looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair moved higher today, closed higher. It is starting to move sideways as well. We are expecting this pair to move as high as 141.39 and potentially as low as 135.04. Look for some resistance around 140.34 and look for some support around 138.00 in this particular pair. Now, switching over to the US Swiss, which was the very big news today. This particular pair we're expecting to move potentially as high as 120.68 and possibly as low as 113.90. Look for some resistance in this particular pair around the 118.90 area. Look for some support around 117.80. Now, the news on this pair was that they had their rate decision today. They dropped rates, but the Swiss bank came out and said that they were going to intervene within the market, and that's what made the Swiss drop off against all the rest of the currencies. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, if you had taken some of the trades we looked at yesterday, the swing trade, of course, today was in this particular pair was extremely successful to the upside. We also looked at one in the Euro-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair, it also hit its swing trade that we looked at here. And we had one other that we're looking at in the US-Japanese yen pair. We were looking at a particular window of opportunity. We did hit it, but it did not go all the way through and pull back. Overall, though, we ended the session up several significant amount of pips, around 70 or 80 for those three trades total. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? And that is the big question. Well, we do have the US Swiss. It formed an overextended bar. Now, I don't know if you back out here a little bit, and you can see we have did not close higher than some previous resistance we've run into, actually closed below it. However, we did, this pair has been moving sideways for the most part for a good while. With a little bit of a trend to the upside, not much, but a little bit. So we are definitely at the top of where we've been in the past. But we also, if you draw your trend line from here, we have previous support that has now become resistance. So not sure if this one will move higher throughout this next session or not. But if you are going to trade this overextended bar, look to buy, and of course it's already past this point, but look to buy around the 1.1847 mark and look to actually exit this particular trade around the 119.67. Now, that is a full 120 pips worth of potential profit, so you can move your stop loss roughly 100 pips down and go ahead and see if this particular pair will continue higher. I believe that it will move higher during this next session. Now, something else that we're looking at is the Euro Let me scroll down a little bit. The Euro Australian dollar pair. This pair formed a swing trade. Take our 2 points, draw our trend line. I know it's a little bit from the market, especially considering this particular pair has headed down at the beginning of the session. But we are looking for it to, if it does break through this point, we are looking to buy at 198.32, looking to exit this particular pair at 199.05. And that is a potential of 73 pips during this next session. So with both of those, we're close to 100 pips if they both hit. If not, then of course we'll have to look at the stop loss. On this, use a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So you'll basically take this buy price and subtract out 73 pips, and that will get you your stop loss. That about does it for the charts for today. Something else that was released today that affected the market was the U.S. advanced retail sales. It was a little bit better than expected at negative 0.1%, and it was readjusted to 1.8% from the previous, and that was adjusted up. So it did help the U.S. dollar, but it wasn't too terribly significant. Of course, the Swiss bank came out and said that they were lowering rates from 0.50% down to 0.25%, and they also, that's not exactly what caused the market to jump so much in the Swiss. It was more of the fact that the Swiss National Bank came out and said they were going to intervene in the exchange market. So that has potential to affect that currency even greater going into this session and into next week. Now, looking ahead for Friday, we do have the Eurozone releasing their retail sales for January. Consensus is that's going to be at 6 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Consensus is that it has moved higher from 0.0% to 0.2%. Year to date, though, it's dropped from negative 1.6% to negative 2.3%. The Canadian dollar also has their net change for unemployment for February being released at 7 a.m. Eastern time, and the consensus is that their unemployment has improved from negative 129.0K up to negative 55K. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.